the station for breaking news coverage. The news station, 7 News.
It's at an early time. We gonna do this? The Pretender, a hitman. People will die to save a life. How far can this pretending go? Then, in 2 weeks, the discovery of an evil pretender, Jared's brother. All new Pretender, tonight on the NBC Saturday Trilogy.
Welcome back to Key Arena in Seattle. Marv Albert with Matt Gukas and Ahmad Rashad. 22-point lead for the Sonics in this, the fifth and final game of the series. A big run by Seattle end of the first half, 20-5. Also, the four-guard offensive alignment for the Phoenix Suns obviously not working. As we take a look at the middle light halftime statistics, the Sonics shooting well, just under 54% from the field, spending much time at the foul line. And Sam Perkins doing the job off the bench.
Coming off the bench, going 5 for 7, did it with the three-point shot, also did it inside, and that's just what George Karl needed from him. And there, the two-point field goal percentage for the Suns, struggling from the field at 40%, and the big key, just 4 for 12 in threes. And this man, Kevin Johnson, way too many jumpers there for Kevin. He has to establish his driving game, get to the basket, get to the free throw line.
Kevin Johnson now shooting 28% for the series, 20 of 71 overall. Seattle with a commanding lead as we head to the second half.
Ahmad Rashad back at Key Arena. I just talked to both coaches. Danny Ainge trying to get his team fired up, told his team that 20 points is not insurmountable, but they got to play tougher defense, stop giving up the easy points. Now, George Karl told his team that he's broken it down into quarters. They won the first 2 quarters. They want to try to win the third and fourth. But one thing he wanted them to be aware of, to look out for the trap. He liked the way they were passing the ball, which ended up in a lot of easy shots. They want to keep doing that. Marv?
All right, thanks, Ahmad. Well, the Phoenix Suns have overcome impossible odds all season. And this series, a microcosm of the year. They fell behind by 15 points, game 3-1. They trailed by 13 Thursday night and recovered, although the Sonics won it in overtime. But today, down by 22 as this third quarter gets underway. Perhaps a bit much to ask for. But Wesley Person opens up by hitting a three. And the Sonics now lead 63-44. Here's Payton for three. And Chapman able to run it down, and his pass broken up, deflected out by Payton.
Well, there's that quick shot by the Sonics. Gary Payton, who did not shoot the ball well in the first half, just 4 for 14, but did everything else well. 5 assists, no turnovers, but the pass inside, the double team, 1 pass out and shot. That's how Phoenix can get back into this game.
And the Suns opening up with the four-guard alignment. Hot Rod Williams kept it alive. Johnson for three. Yes. Well, the Phoenix Suns have come out and hit 2 straight three-pointers.
They've extended their defense, picking up in the backcourt, trying to get Seattle out of any kind of rhythm. But sometimes Seattle will help you themselves with those quick shots.
Here's Cummings, blocked by Person. And it will be Seattle ball with 9 on the 24.
Don't bring that stuff in here against a little guard. Of course, Person is about 6'7". Terry Cummings at 6'9".
That left Schremp. On the back tap, kept alive. Hawkins and Payton opening up in the backcourt. Cummings, Kemp, and Schremp on the front line. Here's Kemp. Oh, too strong, but recovered by Hawkins. And Kemp fires up a three. Kevin Johnson met by Hersey Hawkins. Johnson with Kidd and Person, and Chapman. Foul is called. Hugh Evans with the indication it's the second on Hawkins.
Kevin Johnson, who struggled from the field in that first half, is 2 for 10, but good ball movement. You finally get yourself into a little bit of rhythm. Get your feet hopping a little bit as Kevin Johnson still has to get to the basket.
Johnson, well, Kevin Johnson makes it an 8-0 run by the Suns. It's down to a 14-point Sonic lead. Here's the trap. Handled by the Sonics. Hawkins. And an offensive foul. Hersey Hawkins called for his third.
You can tell Seattle is somewhat ready for this trap, getting the ball into the middle, but then keep Hersey Hawkins with his head down, not seeing anybody in front of him, not seeing the defender, as the Phoenix Suns step in and get the charge.
And the enthusiastic greeting by the Suns bench as the timeout is called by George Karl.
Can the magical the NBA on NBC is brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, who reminds you fresh beer tastes better. By AT&T, it's all within your reach. And by the all-new Wide Track Grand Prix by Pontiac. Wider is better.
Matt, I did want to mention to you it is opening day of the boating season here in Seattle, just to tie it all together for you.
Is that why you brought your rod and reel on this trip?
Absolutely.
Okay.
63-49, the Sonics with a 14-point lead, led by 22 at the half. The lead for Kidd, Jason Kidd on a beautiful lead from Rex Chapman. And the Suns have reeled off 10 unanswered. Here's the trap again. Kemp able to handle it. They double up on Kemp. Hawkins. Payton. Shot clock at 8. Phoenix was looking for a charge, but they get the ball on the steal. Johnson trying to turn Payton around and goes to the baby hook. Cummings gives it back out. Hawkins for 3. And the Sonics in the midst of a drought. Jason Kidd all the way. It's down to a 10-point Seattle lead. Sonics have missed their last 7 shots.
Well, the Sonics have been known to become unraveled even here on this home floor with the supportive crowd. This time, take their time a little bit and get a good percentage shot for Terrence Cummings.
Sonics lead 65-53. Rex Chapman from downtown. Rex Chapman now has 21 three-pointers in this 5-game series. That is a playoff record for a 5-game series. That's his second of the day. And it's now a 9-point lead. The call against Kemp, hooking the arm, offensive foul.
Actually, Sean Kemp looked confused when the ball went in the first time. No double team. He threw it back out to Payton. Gary wisely took his time right back into Kemp. No double team until Kemp put the ball on the floor. They have been expecting to get doubled, and that's when they get their open shot. So a little change up by Phoenix, and it's working.
The Suns have outscored the Sonics 15-2 here in the third. Johnson, yes! Make it 17-2. And the Suns pulling off the improbable again. They are now within 7. And we have not played 4 minutes yet of this third quarter. Kemp and a foul against the Suns.
Well, I'm amazed at what Kevin Johnson is doing. Shot the ball very poorly throughout this series. Here's a nice post-up, and Gary Payton fronting Kidd. They get the little alley-oop as Jason Kidd turns on the burners. He's outstanding in the open floor, especially when a body doesn't get up and try to stop him at the top of the key. But Kevin Johnson has come out this second half, continues to fire away jumpers, as this man is always ready to fire away from beyond the arc, as the Suns are not even worried about it. Anybody getting it hot in. Whoever has the ball, whoever has some daylight is going to let it fly.
Kevin Johnson with 7 of the 17 points by Phoenix here in the third quarter. And the foul on Schrempf. For Detlef, it is his second.
Smart play by Kevin Johnson. The last time the Suns ran that play, when they got the switch and Schrempf backed off and gave Kevin the wide open jumper. This time, they knew they'd get the switch again. Kevin Johnson just trying to get to the basket, draw a foul, get Seattle in the penalty.
And he aims back to the 4-guard offense, which has worked here at the start of the third quarter. Did not have success in the second quarter. Sonics led by as many as 22. Sean Kemp off the pass from Gary Payton. Sonics 69 and the Suns Kemp has 13. Person being guarded by Perkins. Here's Kidd for three. Jason Kidd from downtown. And the Sonic lead is 8. Here comes the trap. Kidd laying back. Hawkins feeding Kemp. And the foul.
Sean Kemp working underneath the basket actually brought himself and his man over as it appeared that like Fred had an opening, but it turns into an easy bucket for Seattle anyway. And then the defense of Phoenix really extended that time, trying to trap out at midcourt, and no way Jason Kidd could get back and get into the flow defensively as the Sonics handle that one well.
Hot Rod Williams called for the foul, his second. Kemp with 6 of the Sonics' 8 points in this third quarter. 10-point Seattle lead, and the Suns are on fire here in the third. Again, Kidd with a three-pointer. He has 13. Sonics 71, and the Suns 64. Fifth and final game of this first-round series. The winner moves on to face the Houston Rockets. Game 1 at the Summit in Houston on Monday. That left with 14 points. Sonics lead 73-64. 6:25 remaining. In the third, Johnson with the step and the bucket. Yes, and it counts. Kevin Johnson inspiring the Suns in this third quarter. Hawkins committing his 4th foul.
Well, Kevin Johnson has made a few from the outside, which has set this up. Percy Hawkins, who has done a reasonably good job on Kevin Johnson. It's a tough matchup for a bigger guard to try to keep the quick point guard Kevin Johnson out of the way, but it's the made perimeter shots which set up that drive for KJ.
Matt, how about the Suns? 25 points here in the third quarter in less than 6 minutes of play.
A number of the Sonics throughout this series said this Phoenix team reminds them a lot of themselves a couple of years ago. Very disruptive defensively, not particularly good. This is nowhere near as good as Seattle in that area. And then just wildly crazy at the offensive end.
The lead is down to 6. Nice pass from Schreck to set it up for Payton. 15 from Payton. Sonics 75, the Suns 67. Johnson passed on the shot. Person in traffic, lost it. Now Payton pulls it back. Kemp played by Williams. And then the double with Kidd coming over to strip him. And it will be Phoenix ball. Last touch by Sean Kemp.
Oh, the big change that Phoenix made defensively to start this third quarter. Just don't come down and double team on the catch. Wait till one of those post players puts the ball on the floor, and for the most part, it's been effective.
Now they clear it out for Johnson. Put the nice move on Trent. Sean Kemp controlling the boards. Hawkins trying to finish the break. Kidd with the block, but the Sonics able to convert. Payton now has 17, and Seattle leads by 10. Now Johnson with a move on Payton. Johnson goes flying and a foul, and what a gorgeous move. Kevin Johnson going against one of the superb defensive players in the league. First a look at the follow by Payton at the other end.
There was a terrific block by Jason Kidd hustling back, but Seattle stays with it. That call was the foul was called on Gary Payton before Kevin Johnson got into the act of shooting.
Just under 5 minutes remaining, third quarter. No hesitation by Chapman. Chapman on the follow, and here's Kidd. Well, he had the shot, but he passed up. Hawkins broken up by Kidd. And Seattle maintains possession with 15 on the 24.
Well, these kinds of games almost take on a schoolyard mentality. Both teams just winging it, having fun going up and down the floor, but the fun has to go out of it because this is obviously a very important game to move on to the second round.
Payton. And Person able to collar the rebound. Oh, Kidd saw the opening, but too strong as he tried to finish it off. The hesitation dribble by Kidd paid off, and then Hot Rod Williams fouled on the double team. Foul on Perkins. Williams, his second.
15-foul penalty.
Well, Jason Kidd, so clever in the open floor, actually used Sean Kemp as a screen on Hersey Hawkins, and then John Hot Rod Williams in all kinds of trouble here. He just kind of throw the ball out. He had a man, Kevin Johnson, here in midcourt. I don't think it would have made it. He got bailed out on the play.
15 fouls, so the Sonics over the limit. Hot Rod a 67% free throw shooter. Now Cedric Sabalos replacing Rex Chapman. Chapman with 9 points, 3 of 8 shooting. Cedric Sabalos, incidentally, able to bounce back in game 4, 16 points in 30 minutes after being hospitalized overnight following the third game of the series because of dehydration. Sonics lead 77-68 as we approach 4 minutes remaining in the third quarter. What a pace to this third quarter. Shot clock at 7. And Kemp took a hit. Sabalos came over, tried to bat the ball away, made contact.
Well, John Williams at about 6'11", a very good defender, a good shot blocker, although he'll block most of those shots off the ball, but playing a tough customer, and Sean Kemp around the basket can handle him to some degree, but once Kemp is putting it on the floor, getting close to the basket, that's when all the help will come.
Payton able to slice his way. And Johnson on the run. Goes to the pull-up and gets the friendly roll. Sonics now lead 77-70. Kevin Johnson with 12 of the Suns' 29 points in the third quarter. Jason Kidd has 10 here in the third. Kemp. Well, Sean Kemp has picked it up in this third quarter. Now 17 points along with 8 rebounds. Sonics have a 9-point advantage. Johnson for 3. 3 minutes remaining in the third. Shrimp. And last touch by Hawkins, although the outside official Jack Neese saying no, perhaps a jump ball. We'll have to sort this out. Hugh Holland, Jack Neese in
with your hand. Yeah.
Sunday at noon Eastern, after 2 disheartening losses, Penny Hardaway's brought Orlando back from the brink with 2 40-plus point games. Now they go for one of the biggest upsets in NBA history. Can Penny and the little guys be giant killers a third straight time? Then it's Pistons, Hawks, and Lakers Jazz. Tripleheader Sunday on NBC.
On the last play, a disputed call is Jason Kidd and Hersey Hawkins going for the loose ball. And look at the foot of Jason Kidd out of bounds as he was touching the ball, but it's going to be ruled Phoenix ball as Jason Kidd, the officials felt, threw it off of Hersey Hawkins, but he was out of bounds originally.
Phoenix has outscored Seattle 29-16. In the third quarter, they have been able to get as close as 7 points. Right now, a 9-point Sonic lead. They led by 22 at the half. Kidd's pass deflected out with 14 on the 24. So the Suns have been able to come roaring back. Kevin Johnson and Jason Kidd have sparked the team in the third quarter. Suns have been roaring back throughout the season. They began at 0-13 under Cotton Fitzsimmons. They were 0-8. Then Danny Ainge took over, lost his first 5 games, but able to rally and finished at 40-42, 4th in the Pacific, 7th seed in the Western Conference, and have provided a handful for the Sonics in this opening round series. Payton for 3. Sabalos not able to handle that rebound. Payton recaptured. Kemp lost the dribble off his foot, but able to recover. Payton for 3 again. And rebounded by Person. And Seattle won for its last 12. That's a double dribble. So the ball back to Seattle.
Well, Wesley Person, in an effort to try to get the ball into the hands of Kevin Johnson, and a very smart play by Gary Payton to just fake at him and then fake towards Kevin Johnson and made Wesley Person double dribble.
Sonics just 5 of 18 from the field in the third quarter with just under 2 minutes remaining. Kemp forced it, came up with the air ball. Kemp off the double team, popped it up. Sonics with a 9-point lead. Minute and a half to go in the third. Here's Kidd. Pass misfired. Payton able to protect. Payton chased by Kidd. Payton all the way. And rebounded by Williams. Kevin Johnson with the room. Oh, the steal by Johnson. Took it out of the hands of Perkins. Sabanos unable to locate the shot. Person does. Yes, a 3 for Wesley Person. And the Phoenix Suns are within 6.
Well, in some respects, Phoenix played very recklessly there, but they had to get back into this ballgame. The sense of urgency is there. But one good thing Phoenix doing at the defensive end has the Sonics confused with the post-up, but they are not giving them second shot opportunities. That is key.
That left Shrep. Rebounded by Sean Kemp, and he's fouled.
Now Kevin Johnson pulling up, taking the quick jump shot. He realized it was off, saw the long rebound, and saw the taller Perkins, and felt he could get up and underneath him to knock that ball loose. And then Person using the screen well, going right to left to nail the 3.
18 points for Wesley Person in the starting lineup this afternoon. Sean Kemp, 7 of 9 at the line. Very successful at the line in game 4. Particularly down the stretch, 13 of 16 overall on Thursday night. Rex Chapman hearing it from the crowd. All he did was hit that circus shot at the end of regulation, and then earlier in the series, 42 points, 9 3-pointers.
Well, Rex was telling us before the game, he works on that runner shot, and he used to take it quite a bit in high school because he had bad ankle. 2-for-1 situation for Phoenix.
Kevin Johnson. Handled by Sean Kemp. 8-point Seattle lead. Down to 20 seconds to go in the third. Seattle's missed its last 7 shots. 2-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Payton, played by Sabanos. Payton got caught. Final seconds. Kidd checking the clock from half court. Pops it. Well, the Suns able to pull the turnaround here in the third, down by as many as 22, sparked by Kevin Johnson and Jason Kidd. They trail by just 8. We're headed to the fourth quarter. You're watching the NBA on NBC.
Is what you do.
Tuesday.
Yeah, yeah.
BMW, the ultimate freedom machine.
Balanced nutrition for lasting energy. Power Bar. Power on.
Why the Vampire Obsession is coming alive tonight at 11.
After the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
Well, it's been small ball that has everybody talking with Danny Ainge and success with the Phoenix Suns. Kevin Johnson, Jason Kidd, big factors in getting Phoenix back in this game in the third quarter. Wesley Person on the boards, and Rex Chapman always a threat. And this is what they have done in this series so far, coming into game number 5. And here it is today, 12 points for Kevin Johnson in this third quarter, 10 of those 15 for Jason Kidd in the third. Rex Chapman still looking to get it going. And what a job Wesley Person has done defensively and on the defensive backboard.
Phoenix outscored Seattle in the third, 32-18. Both teams are now shooting at 45%. The Sonics have missed their last 8 shots. And certainly, as we discussed earlier on Showtime, on the minds of George Karl and the Sonics, although they advanced to the finals a year ago, this is a Sonic team that has been eliminated in the first round of the playoffs 2 of the past 3 years. So there is some pressure on this club in this game 5 of the series as Wesley Person hits another 3. It is down to an 81-76 lead. This is the closest the Suns have been able to come. Trailing by 22 at the half. Person with 21 points. And that is 4th three-pointer of the day. Here's Wingate for 3. David Wingate with his second from downtown. Able to answer the 3 from Person. Sonics 84. Suns 76 with a minute gone by in the fourth quarter. Person for 3. And Shrimp able to handle the rebound.
Wesley that time was a little too close. The last one he made was beyond the old three-point line.
Shrimp for 3. Yes. Sonics 87. The Suns 76. Sonics 7 of 20 from three-point range. Suns 11 for 24. And the decibel level way up once again here at Key Arena in Seattle. Chapman to the drive. Perkins with the rebound. Oh, Person from the blind side looking for the steal. And Payton indicating, why doesn't somebody tell me?
And he wouldn't have heard them anyway. What an answer from the bench for George Karl. David Wingate hit a 3 earlier in this game, had a strong first half, and then Detlef Schrempf with another 3. So the Phoenix Suns closed to win 5, and nobody found David Wingate again.
David Wingate off the inbound. Standing ovation for the Sonics, who now lead by 13. Phoenix calls for time.
Yeah, well, nobody was ready for the on the underneath out of bounds.
Good day. An announcer can make or break a beer commercial, eh?
Molson Golden.
Try it once without the beer. Next. I love the little laugh.
Better not have long hair.
Oh.
Molson Golden.
Be in touch with you.
Molson.
Next. Do you have a sister? Next.
Is there anyone else out there?
No, I'm the last one.
Okay, you got the job.
Do it, eh?
Molson Golden, the best there is, from Canada.
Miller Genuine Draft presents a classic moment of the NBA at 50.
And today we look back at a classic playoff game, Sonics and Suns, Game 7 of the 1993 Western Conference Finals. Eddie Johnson with 34 points for the Sonics, but Charles Barkley had all the answers, 44 points, a career playoff high, 24 rebounds as the Suns went on to a 123-110 victory, advancing to the NBA Finals. In recognition of this classic moment, Miller Beer will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. Now bring on Chuck, referring to Charles Barkley and the Houston Rockets waiting in the wings for the winner here. Game 1 of the second round series at the Summit in Houston on Monday night. Sonics now lead 89-76. Able to settle down after the Phoenix rally. Nice pass. Jason Kidd for Wesley Person. And that stops the 8-0 run after Phoenix had cut the lead down to 5. 9.5 remaining in the fourth quarter, and the Sonics now have an 89-78 advantage. Marv Albert, Matt Gukas, and Ahmad Rashad from Key Arena in Seattle. Perkins looking for the mismatch. Staying with the four-guard alignment. Here's Johnson. Kevin Johnson had the hot hand of the third, but pumping from all angles. He's now 7 for 21.
Well, this is how the Suns got back into the ballgame, playing this recklessly, and they have to continue to do it. It's the only way they know how.
Payton again not able to hit the three-pointer. Johnson on the run, and again goes for the shot. Kevin Johnson now firing at will, and obviously he and Jason Kidd got him back into it, but you have to question the shot selection at this point.
Especially since Kevin has the ability to break his man down and get to the basket.
Nice play again. Wingate with the setup. Perkins with 15. David Wingate has come off the bench, getting additional playing time in the absence of the injured Nate McMillan, and Wingate has played well. Open shot for Manning for 3. And last touch by Hawkins.
Well, a big confusing play with the crowd going wild. You can see that the Suns with their guard down as a substitution is taking place. As Jordan Kemp walking out, he is going out there, but David Wingate is going to move up here and right to the basket as the Suns never really catch aware because the official, New Hollands, handed the ball to the inbound passer, and they weren't ready for it.
As a result, the Phoenix Suns got suckered on that inbounds. Big play. Wingate was able to convert. Hawkins for 3. Wingate with the rebound. Seattle with the ball, up by 13 points. And the outside official, Jack Neese, making the call against Phoenix. On Chapman, his third.
Well, one of the things George Karl was worried about coming into this ballgame was tired legs for Gary Payton, playing all 53 minutes in the overtime game 4 and has gone every minute of this one. But the Suns right now look like the tired team. As Jason Kidd, Kevin Johnson, Wesley Person, and Chapman, all the guards, have played a lot of minutes at a hectic pace.
Seven and a half remaining in the fourth quarter. Seattle during the regular season 57-25, won the Pacific Division by 1 game over the Los Angeles Lakers. Shrimp, yes. So the Sonics lead 93-78. And Person cut off by Wingate, took the shoulder, the foul on David Wingate. That is his second. Phoenix Suns finish at 40-42 after opening up 0-13. They were 1-14 back in November. At one point, they lost 8 straight on the road, but finished strong, taking 19 of the last 23. 25 points for Person. The 19 of 23 run featured an 11-game win streak. They became the first team in NBA history to qualify for the playoffs after such a futile start. Here's Trent open for 3. The Sonics have rebuilt to the enormous lead. Johnson, he's way off. Seattle by 16. Kevin Johnson has missed his last 8 shots.
Well, that's a problem, Rob, when one player tries to do it all by himself. You can understand where Kevin Johnson is coming from, but he has to get to the basket and involve his teammates some.
Suns are living and dying with Kevin Johnson. Meanwhile, Hersey Hawkins adds to the Seattle lead.
And you have another point guard on the floor in Jason Kidd.
And Johnson fouled. It's just one-on-one here with Kevin Johnson. This reminiscent of John Starks of the New York Knicks against the Houston Rockets in Game 7 several years back. Timeout called. 6:06 remaining. Fourth quarter.
When Dick, creator of the milk.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by the 97 Mitsubishi Montero Sport, the smooth-riding sport utility vehicle built for living. By Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth. And by Miller Genuine Draft, who reminds you it's time for better beer bread.
And back in Seattle with 6 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Wesley Person here in the fourth with all 7 Phoenix points. The Sonics getting 8 from Schremp and 5 from Wingate.
Well, actually, Kevin Johnson, along with Jason Kidd, was mainly responsible for getting the Suns back into this game, getting within 5. But then Kevin really got carried away with himself, trying to do too much, taking too many perimeter shots, and really taking the life out of the Phoenix Suns.
He has the rest of his team standing around. He's missed his last 8 shots, goes right back to it and missed the reverse. I tell you, if this is Kevin Johnson's finale, this not what he had in mind to go out like this. Wingate. 12 points, 7 rebounds for David Wingate. And the Sonics lead by 20. Chapman able to split through and went to the left hand. Sonics 100 and the Suns 82.
Well, the Sonics started out this ballgame being very patient and very smart with their offense, getting good shots. Had some valleys in the middle of this ballgame, but then have gotten back to it again, taking sure on every possession that they get a good shot.
Kidd getting the hand in, nearly came up with a steal. Kemp. Sean Kemp with 21 points, along with 10 rebounds. Just under 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Jason Kidd. A lot of one-on-one here in the fourth quarter on the part of the Phoenix Suns. This after they came roaring back. They cut it to a 5-point Seattle lead. Sonics led by 22 at the half. And then Seattle went on a 17-4 run after the Suns came within 5. Payton for 3. Gary Payton is only 6 of 25 from the field. Here's Chapman. That was a 3-point attempt. Schremp came up with the loose ball. From Wild, end to end. And a timeout taken. Seattle calling for time.
Now that I'm teaching in the business, we're getting really close.
We're still not making any promises. Oh, watch out for that. But if you pass your driver's test, the car's yours.
Dad, you've been saying that since I was a baby.
Let's try to parallel park now.
Cool.
The 1997 Mitsubishi Galant. Reliability other cars only dream about. The Galant, Mirage, and Diamante. The family of sedans from Mitsubishi. Built for living.
Tonight, the motion picture blockbuster becomes a special NBC movie event.
I've come to answer your prayers.
Do not doubt! You are a killer!
No! Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Antonio Banderas, and Christian Slater interview with the vampire tonight on the NBC Saturday Night Movie.
Well, Kevin Johnson so instrumental in that third quarter comeback by Phoenix, but he's missed his last 8 shots, as we've been discussing. As you're well aware, Kevin has been saying that he will retire after this season. He says he will stick to that decision. We talked about that with Kevin Johnson.
When I
told Jerry Colangelo 3 years ago that I'd probably retire after the 10th year in the league. I expected to be playing well at 31. I didn't think I'd be past my prime. I thought our team would probably have more regular season wins than we did this year, and the hand that was dealt us this year was a little bit different. But I just felt more than anything it was just time to move on, and all my energy this year is really focused on this season, and now more than anything is focused on one game and not what happens after that one game if we lose.
Well, Kevin Johnson has had a terrific season. He made reference to if we lose. David Wingate with another big shot, as you saw, with the shot clock running down. Rex Chapman back with a 3. And with 3.5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, the Sonics lead the Suns 105-87. Shrimp stripped by Johnson. And Johnson all the way. Well, he cannot buy one. He has missed his last 9 shot attempts. Foul is called. Foul on Sabalos.
And many of them, he has been looking to the officials for some kind of help here. Even when he gets to the basket, wide open as the seas part, and still can't get it to roll in. Big problem for Kevin Johnson over the last 5-6 years has been injuries. Has missed so many games, been hurt so much. Marv, sometimes you just get tired of rehabilitating, and I think that's where Kevin Johnson was when he made that decision to retire. But right now, he is relatively healthy. Other than that bad ankle right now, he's been able to play a lot of games this year, other than the beginning part of the season when the Suns got off to that 0-13 start.
Well, at first it appeared that Sabalos and Payton were upset with each other, and they settled that quickly. 3:07 remaining in this fourth quarter. The Houston Rockets await the winner, and it will take a miraculous turn here by the Phoenix Suns. And now the Sonics are playing the clock. They have the big lead. Phoenix made its run, came within 5. Sabalos on the foul. And team foul number 4 committed by Phoenix. The numbers on Kevin Johnson: 7 for 26. He has shot only 28% for the series. Gary Payton, meanwhile, just 6 of 25, but teammates have come up big. 22 for Shrimp, 21 points for Kemp, 15 apiece for Perkins and Wingate. Foul on Person. Reminder tonight, right here on NBC, you can start it off with an all-new Pretender at a special time at 8, 7 Central, followed by the network premiere of Interview with the Vampire, starring Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt, Antonio Banderas, and Christian Slater. That's tonight, right here on NBC.
Well, it's been the balance again for the Seattle Supersonics. Gary Payton having the bad shooting game, but 10 assists, just 1 turnover. Short Kemp wisely staying out of foul trouble early in the game, able to play big minutes, and a huge lift off the bench from Sam Perkins and David Wingate.
107-87, a 20-point Seattle lead. Shrimp with the steal. Hawkins able to save it. And again, they'll play the clock. Foul is called. Foul on Johnson. And it looks like it will be Seattle and Houston. As we look at the season series, Rockets won 3 of 4 last year on the way to the championship finals against the Chicago Bulls. Seattle crushed the Rockets in 4 straight and extended their winning streak against Houston to 13 games, the run that began back in April of '93 and that ended in the opener of this season.
And the reason they were so successful that they were able to double team Akeem Olajuwon so quickly and then rotate out to the shooters where Houston never got it going. The Rockets, as Chapman goes in there for the dunk, The thing that's different this year, Marv, is the different element Charles Barkley brings to the Houston Rockets. Not so much with the three-point shooting when the ball comes out of Olajuwon's hands, but Charles can break the defense down, and that's where the Sonics will have their hands full.
And Hakeem Olajuwon is also confident if they double-team him. As you mentioned, they were very successful with that last season. He feels it's a better club, not only with Barkley, but Mario Elie has been so potent, and the rookie point guard, Matt Maloney, has had a terrific playoff series. Maloney is at 57%.
Well, Matt gets so many open looks because teams have to either double-team Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon, or Clyde Drexler, and he has been shooting the ball very confidently, playing all season long, and his confidence at a very high level at an important time.
How about David Wingate? 17 points, 8 rebounds in 19 minutes. 17 points, a career playoff high. Here's Kidd. And the foul. Sonics lead 109-89 with 2:16 remaining in the game. And looking ahead for the Phoenix Suns, Danny Ainge doing a terrific job taking over from Cotton Fitzsimmons, although he must have been wondering what the heck is going on after the Suns lost their first 5 games and went 0-13, and as we mentioned, 1-14, but they finished very strong, taking 19 of the last 23. Made this series intriguing, taking the Sonics into a 5th and final game. And you know that Jerry Colangelo and Danny Ainge will be looking to make some moves to continue to rebuild this Phoenix franchise.
Well, I'm sure they love this style of play. It's fun to play it. It's very entertaining to watch it. These kinds of games will happen, however. But Danny Ainge was very clear yesterday as Jason Kidd knocked down the, Kevin Johnson knocked down the jump shot. Danny Ainge said the reason that the Suns got off to the bad start is quite evident. No John Hot Rod Williams early and no Kevin Johnson.
Just under 2 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. The celebration has begun here in Seattle. Payton. So Payton with 19 and a timeout called by the Suns. Standing ovation for the Sonics, who will move on to the second round.
Nelson. After 2 disheartening losses, Penny Hardaway's brought Orlando back from the brink with 2 40-plus point games. Now they go for one of the biggest upsets in NBA history. Can Penny and the little guys be giant killers a 3rd straight time? Then it's Pistons, Hawks, and Lakers Jazz. Tripleheader Sunday on NBC.
Back in Seattle, 1:48 remaining in this 4th quarter. It is now a coronation in terms of this series. The Sonics with a 113-91 lead on the Suns, and George Karl has emptied his bench. Jim McIlvaine has checked in. Phoenix Suns have done the same. Steve Nash came on a moment ago. Lauren Meyer, second-year player from Iowa State, on the floor for the first time. Nash handling. Sabanos for 3. Well, Gary Payton finally gets his rest finally taken out. Kevin Johnson may have concluded his NBA career. Kevin Johnson finishes up 20 points, just 10 of 26 from the field. This is Eric Snow, the second-year man from Michigan State, going against the rookie Nash. And Meyer with the rebound. Mike Brown has also checked in for the first time for Phoenix. This is Nash. That was a 3-point attempt. And it will be Seattle ball with 1:08 remaining. Don't forget, tomorrow the NBA playoffs continue right here on NBC with a triple-header starting with NBA Showtime, 12 noon Eastern, and then 2 Game 5s back-to-back. Orlando Magic trying to be the giant killer against Pat Riley and the Miami Heat. Then Detroit and Atlanta. go against each other. The winner there moves on to face the defending champion Chicago Bulls. And in prime time, the Lakers and the Jazz in game 1 of their best-of-7 conference semifinal. So a big day of NBA playoffs tomorrow right here on NBC. We're down to 40 seconds to go. Nash off the fake, putting moves on Snow. Here's Brown. And Wingate with yet another rebound. That's rebound number 10 for David Wingate. Greg Graham is fouled.
Well, George Karl has so much faith in Nate McMillan, who has been unable to play and probably won't be able to play in the next series either with a knee injury, but he has to be extremely encouraged by the play of David Wingate because they need some kind of presence off the bench. There's no way that Gary Payton can play every minute, although he played 53 in game 4 and all but the last 2 here. He is so valuable to this team, but David Wingate, a breath of fresh air for the Sonics off the bench.
116-91 Seattle. And we're down to 20 seconds. Nash, the rookie from Santa Clara, able to dish it to Person, blocked and fouled by McIlvaine. Jim McIlvaine, who has seen very little action in this series. It will be a different story, though, against the Houston Rockets.
He better get warmed up for all those foot fakes and moves of Akeem Olajuwon. I'm sure Terry Cummings will get a look as well as Sean Campus. A lot of different people will have to try to guard Akeem.
High point men today for the Sonics. Trent with 24. Kemp with 21, 19 apiece for Wingate and Payton. And Person leading the Suns with 26 points. Kevin Johnson did not shoot well, finishes with 20. Jason Kidd with 17. The ovation for the Sonics as time runs down. And time has run out on the Phoenix Suns. A very tough 5-game series won by the Seattle Sonics. The final score, the Sonics 116 and the Suns 92. We'll take a break right here, and when we return, we hope to be chatting with Seattle coach George Karl.
Hey, Carl.
Rashad back in Seattle. I'm joined now with George Karl. And George, when we talked before the game, you were a bit nervous, but those nerves have subsided now, haven't they?
Now we're relieved. there's only 2 things, disappointment and relief in the NBA. We get to be relieved for about 12 hours, then we got to go to work against Houston.
All the turbulence that you've gone through this season, that's stopped now and you're moving forward trying to win a championship?
I think mentally we have gained something from this series. I'm not sure Houston gained anything from their series. But I think mentally we're tougher. We know how we have to play. Now, physically, if we can rebound a little bit and get healthier, I think we'll be fine.
All right, congratulations and good luck to you. All right, back to you, Marv.
All right, thanks, Ahmad. George Karl with the normal coach's playoff type voice. You can hear the laryngitis. George has been doing a little screaming. George Karl and the Sonics advance to the second round to face the Houston Rockets. Again, the final, Seattle 116, Phoenix 92 as the Sonics take this 5th and final game of the series. Tonight here on NBC, an all-new Pretender at a special time of 8/7 Central. Then Brad Pitt, Antonio Banderas, and Christian Slater star in the network premiere of Interview with the Vampire. For Matt Kukas and Ahmad Rashad, I'm Marv Albert from Seattle. This has been the NBA on NBC.
The NBA, the NFL, Major League Baseball, Notre Dame football, the PGA Tour.